how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Everything is everything.
Apollo, how you doing?
I'm fine, thanks for asking.
Chris Eubanks versus Bradley Price. Pick the bones out of that one, fellas.
Well, I haven't actually seen the fight yet. I haven't been able to find it on YouTube. But all I can say about Eubanks so far, I've seen him spar before, and from what I've seen, what man?
No, he's asking you a direct question. If you haven't seen it, just say you haven't seen it. Let me comment.
Okay,
on that.
let
me comment on that. Let me comment on that. I've seen the fight. I've seen the fight. I've seen the fight.
Okay.
And Eubanks Jr.'s improved. Yeah.
Okay.
The Bradley Price was a tough fight. And he showed some new things. Different moves. And all round, it was like an A plus performance, I believe.
What about power?
It's not to be questioned, you know. You just give your opinion, Apollo. Let me say let me say what I'm saying. It's recorded.
I need to elaborate. Like, what about you thought he was hitting hard?
Apollo's a funny dude, man. This is recorded, bro.
I'm glad it is, so that people can hear us, you know.
Yo, Beach, you still there?
Right here, fam. Right here.
All right, listen. Let me say it again, Apollo. Yeah, this is our opinions on what happened in the fight. Not for you to comment on what I'm saying. Yeah, if you haven't seen the fight, say you haven't seen the fight. Yeah, I'm saying what I saw about Chris Eubanks Jr. is that he's well improved since his last fight, and he's getting better and better, and he's turned into an all-round pro. Yeah, I've seen some new things with him, patience. Basically, just working his combinations and getting his shots off. And obviously, he's done a really good job on Bradley Price, and it showed on the cards. I mean, he dominated the rounds. It was a complete shutout, and he's got a fight coming up next week as well on the undercard of James DeGale. So I was impressed by him. That's my impressions of him.
Remember, I just want to find out from Mr. Jarrett. Do you have any comments on his power? You know, is he hurting guys? But he's not really stopping anyone, is he?
Okay, since you never saw the fight, what's your general opinion on Chris Eubanks Jr.?
Yeah, obviously, I'm not judging the guy, but it's just something. Basically, what I've seen, I think he's got very fast hands, pretty skillful. But I'm just not. I think there's power to be desired. I mean, he's young. Don't get me wrong. He's 23 years old, so he's only a year older than me. So, of course, he's got plenty of time, but. I want to know, what does Mr. Jarrett think of the man's power?
I think his power. I think he hasn't got man strength yet. It's coming on. I think his power is yet. He's still growing into his power. So, he hasn't got man strength yet. So, when he gets that, I think he's developed. You got to remember, he's probably not going to be a middleweight for the rest of his career. He's just growing in. He'll probably end up be a light heavyweight, or maybe just a super middleweight around that area. But I see he's quite strong. He's getting better. That's all I can say. His power's getting better. You know.
Right now, his dad's power doesn't seem to have hereditarily transferred onto Eubanks Jr. But right now, he looks like his skill set is more than competent to do what he has to do for now. And we have to wait until he really steps up to see if his lack of power really affects him. We'll have to wait until the tougher tests come about. But the next topic is Tyson Fury versus Kevin Johnson. Kevin Kingpin Johnson. Apollo.
Go on, Apollo.
Okay. Well, for me, I think Fury boxed. You know what? Yeah, from watching him when he was younger, his style's really changed. He's become a lot more cautious now. He was staying at a range. I mean, I think early on, obviously, as you guys pointed out, he wasn't really. To me, he didn't look as if he really hurt Johnson. So I think Johnson's sort of experience was a bit of a. It was something for him to deal with, but look, he did what he had to do. He pulled out the win. So I just look forward to seeing his next fight now.
What I saw it is that it was a good step up in class. It's where he needs to be. He's Tyson Fury came out throwing what he normally does. He tested. He put Johnson to do the test. He tried in my opinion, he was looking for the stoppage, but he still had enough tank to go the distance. And it was all round good performance. I was quite impressed by Johnson's defense as well. But Kevin Johnson ain't nothing to sneeze at. Like, I mean, boy, he tested Tyson Fury in every way. I mean, stamina wise, you know, he showed him new looks, and it was a great test. It's what you say boxing beats. What do you call it? What do you call it? Gatekeeper. It's what you call a gatekeeper. And if he was a gatekeeper to the world thing, he done very well. I mean, Johnson he went into sparring modes at some point in that bout, where at that point Kevin Fury wasn't really doing much, but the bout was a good bout. I mean, the fans are booing, but if they're booing, they don't know a lot of shit about boxing. It's one of the best heavyweight bouts of this year. Even though everyone could say that was rubbish, but for the heavyweight division, that was fairly decent. And you know, onwards and upwards for Tyson Fury. Now he's the interim champion. He's got to wait for the winner out of what's that guy from Mexico? What's that guy now? Ariola and what's the other guy? Yeah, that's it. He's got to wait the winner out of that, because the winner out of that get a shot straight away. And after that, he's ranked number 3rd in WBC rankings. He's in the world scene. He's where he should be. He's miles ahead of Price. Miles ahead of Price. He's on the door. He's just on the doorstep of a world title. I mean, and that's it. I mean, that's where you want to be. It's where you want to be. I mean, he could put another fight in between that, because, you know, whenever that fight is, and he probably will. But, you know, he's on world class. He can't go back now. It's all about forward, and I'm impressed. I'm impressed of the level or position he's put in there. You know what I mean? Now people are going to start taking him seriously. So all round good performance.
I'm not sure if Kingpin really tested Fury's stamina, because his punch output was really low, you know. And I think one of the reasons Tyson looks so fresh is Kevin is not really a big puncher, but Tyson looked very good. He looked very good, and it was an awkward fight. It was an awkward fight than what most people think it actually was. You know what I mean? That's in my opinion.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much. I don't mean to interrupt you, but you got to look. If you can't judge Tyson Fury from how he is then and how he was when he fought Derek Chisora, he's a whole different person. He takes it very seriously now. He's in better shape. The reason why I say he's wearing his stamina out is because he threw so many punches. He was testing his stamina. He threw a lot of punches, and it went 12 rounds. And you can see in that fight he was grabbing on a bit. That's why I said he tested his stamina. He's a whole different person. He's much more all-round professional, and he looks the part of, you could say, yeah, if he was going to be a world champion, he could probably hold the belt for a couple of years if he really wanted to. Depends on how serious he is. But right now, you know what I mean? He looks like the real legit. Like Price, if anything, went back a bit. Fighting Skelton, he went back.
Yeah.
Right, and that's what you can judge it by. Johnson is nothing to sneeze at. And Johnson, you got to understand, they took that fight out here three weeks notice. He got with Jeff Mayweather with 3 weeks notice to have that fight. Now Jeff is saying if they had him longer, he would have got Johnson out of that mood where he needs to throw punches. Jeff was very upset with him, and that's what I'm trying to talk to Jeff about. But like I said to you, I'm not going to knock Tyson Fury's. You know, he done a great job, and that's it. That's all I can say. But what I'm saying is that, in the end of the day, Tyson Fury is more legit right now than anything. And I had an interview with what's his name again, Maloney, Maloney, right? And he was saying that belt wasn't that belt wasn't interim. It's the interim belt. I went on BoxRec. It's an interim belt. So if people out there trying to say that title was an interim belt, they don't know shit. Check on BoxRec, all right? And that Maloney needs to check on BoxRec, trying to discredit the fight. Because they're fighting lower opposition. It's out of order.
He's a promoter, man. That's what them guys do, you know. But what you just said about the 3 weeks notice, I think that's a legitimate point. Taking that into consideration, do you feel that diminishes the victory in any sense?
No, it doesn't. You gotta do what you gotta do. What I'm saying to you, the reason why I'm saying that is that I'm giving both sides of the argument. That's what I'm giving. Yeah, I'm just showing both sides of the argument, and I'm saying that he's got past that level now, Fury I'm talking about, and he's on, and maybe Kevin Johnson can get it better, but that's up to Jeff and this, and I'm not going to make excuses for what they didn't bring. If you didn't bring it on the night, you didn't bring it on the night. That's it. Tyson came, turned up, and he did what he had to do, and that's the bottom line, you know?
Well, my opinion is if they felt they didn't have sufficient time to prepare, then they always had the option not to take the fight. I know, I mean, fighters need the money, but if that's the case, then you're going to take L's, and there's no real legitimate excuses. You know what I mean? Maybe legitimate in your mind, but not to me.
No, they didn't bring it up.
Yeah,
I think actually Jeff brought it up. But he brought it up in his own private Facebook. He never brought it up in none of the mainstream media or anything like that. No one's ever asked him.
Beats, you haven't. What option do they have though? It's a fight. You can't really turn it down, can you?
True, they got bills to pay, and you can't argue that point. But like I said, losses come with the territory. If you take fights at short notice, it's a loss. A loss is a loss. But so what are you saying, Errol? There would have been a different outcome if they had longer to prepare. Is that what you're saying?
I think so, mate. But I'm not. I think so, but I'm not gonna knock Tyson Fury what he did. I think so. If you ask me honestly, I think did, because there was parts in that fight where Tyson didn't know what to do with him. And I'm telling you, if he had a better, maybe had a longer training camp, who knows? He was still good enough to take wither he was too good enough to wither anything Tyson Fury, any type of these bombs. I mean, you're trying to say, or not you're trying to say, people might try to say, or maybe they'll hit this at a price, but he's fighting a world-class opposition. World-class opposition, not people you can just roll over. And it's showing you that at a world-class level, you can't just roll over people. You just can't do that.
I still think, in my opinion, that Kevin Johnson fought a defensively brilliant fight. I know people are going to scoff at that because the offense wasn't saying much. But, if you think you can't learn nothing from his defensive posture, then, you just know nothing about boxing. The guy's a defensive master, to be honest, And that gave Fury a few problems. So it's hard to judge if Fury can punch or not at heavyweight. I don't think he's an explosive puncher. But then again, against someone with less defensive subtleties, his punches will appear, harder because he'll be able to land more square on the target. But, how many heavyweights can use that shell like Kevin did? That's the question you have to ask, in my opinion.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is, he got hit square on the chin a couple of times and he just took it. His defense is good, but he got hit on the chin as well, and he took it nothing and kept walking forward. And there was times in that fight where he was walking down Tyson Fury. We're not gonna anyway. Like I said to you, all he does is don't want to discredit Tyson Fury. Onwards and upwards. He's an interim champion now, right? And he's gonna fight the will out of Stavern and what's that? Ariola, and that's it, right? And that's it. So
let's leave it.
Leave it as that and move on.
All right, starting with Apollo, I'd like to get your post-fight feedback on Miguel Cotto versus Austin Trout.
I can tell you. Go on, Apollo, you go first, mate.
Are you sure you don't want to go?
You go first, Apollo.
Okay, no, I don't want to be talking too much, give you, man. Based from what I've seen, to me, I think Cotto struggled. He just looked so slow. His legs were slow, and to me, I don't think he ever really hurt Trout. I mean, I just think Trout he was just so sharp. It's like I'm trying to think of a fight to compare it to, but to me, he's just so slick. I mean, you can almost say, I'm not gonna say Mayweather because they're too different, but he Alvarez. Like when Alvarez fought Moses, I'd go that far. I just think Cotto, I mean, the losses are mounting up. The punches that he took off Margarito, Pacquiao, and I think against Mayweather, I think that was just pretty much his last big fight. I think he's just burned himself out. His body just can't really take anymore. So, I mean, he done well. Obviously, he didn't get knocked out. But I just think Trout, and I really want to see Trout against one of the big names now. Someone like Alvarez, Mayweather, Brundage. But yeah, for me, I'm very impressed. We've got a new kid on the block, basically, Yeah, man.
Yeah, my take on that fight, I was impressed on Trout, man. I thought he'd knock him out. Actually said it way in advance. I knew he'd beat him. This was simply because, I mean, some people say you shouldn't look on past fights, but that's how I judge people. And look at Cotto and his experience with Margarita when he was at his peak. All right, Margarita did have them bricks in his glove, but Cotto seems to have trouble with big, strong guys. And you knew going into the Trout fight, it was a big, strong guy with footwork, and it was a southpaw at that. Now, Cotto, if you look at he fought a southpaw. He fought what's that guy's name? And no, he fought a southpaw and when he was a junior welterweight, Torres, right? And he got knocked down twice. So he struggles with, and he got knocked, and he got dizzied by what's that guy's name again? By the Corley. Yeah, he got dizzy by the Corley. So he has trouble with southpaw. So now you got a southpaw who's strong and has good footwork. You knew it was going to be a whole heap of problems for him. But I rate Cotto for stepping up with the opposition. Another point as well is that people say when Mayweather finished, after fighting in Mayweather, you're never the same. You could say that, but Cotto looked all right. I wouldn't say the Mayweather did anything to him that you didn't really know. It's just that I think the weight is. I think he fought a first time he fought a big, strong 154er, and he wasn't having it, and he was undefeated, and it was a tall loss. But you give Cotto props for getting that fight. Honestly, I knew the result would be something similar, and landslide it was in the cards. And I'll give Cotto a lot of credit. I wouldn't say. I mean, is he done a world class operator? Maybe, but it depends what he wants to do. If he stays at 154, this is going to happen again. But if he goes down to welterweight, then you can say that's where he should be. But then will he want to? And obviously, he doesn't need to fight no more. His name was a part of the promotional banner, so he got quite a bit of money out of it. And his family seems well set. You can just retire with your family. But he gave it a good 100%, and the better man won. Now it's all about Austin Trout. He's up there and where he should be. And now we're looking for a good fight. I mean, we need to be talking about him versus the other champions. He wants to unify the division, and he wants to be great. And I think he's got a good chance of doing that. We shouldn't be talking about Mayweather versus people like Canelo. Then we talk about Trout versus Canelo. And now, if Canelo ducks him, Canelo's he's just trying to fight guys who are lighter than him. So we're looking at Trout trying to fight people like Bundridge, and Trout finding people like that in his weight division. And there's some good fights there. So it's a good kind of thing this happens. And that's what I have to say about that, really.
I thought Trout was very efficient. Not spectacular, but very efficient. Good speed, good size. He didn't pull with his punches like he was doing with Delvin Rodriguez. And I could see he's actually been training on resisting the temptation of doing so, because that's the only times he got any real trouble is when he sort of like hesitated or poured with his shots against Cotto. It was a great performance. The Puerto Rican fans started fighting afterwards, saying that it was a bad decision, but it wasn't a bad decision. Trout won at least 8 of the rounds, maybe a couple of them were even. I think there's a case that Cotto took 2-3 rounds at the most. That's in my opinion, from what I saw there. Canelo still isn't showing no urgency in wanting to face Trout, but I don't think Trout or Bundridge should beg Canelo for anything. His lack of really trying to force negotiations to fight either of the two will expose him. They should fight each other. They should just bite down some negotiations, fight each other. They'll get a decent payday out of it. They'll get the respect from the real boxing fans, whatever that counts for. That's not the real boxing fans ain't really putting no money in their pocket. But at the same time, Golden Boy and Canelo will be compromised from taking big purses out of the game if Bundridge and Trout are seen to be making unification matches and Canelo's not getting involved or getting in the mix. Apollo, you got any topics you want to touch?
Well, how about, Price's coming fight with Tony Thompson. What do you think of that fight?
How would my brethren Jamil from the South Bronx put it? It's garbage, son.
Again, you see, exactly. But at least he's stepping up, though. At least that's a step up from what he's been fighting. Stepping up. The reason why they probably put the Bear in there, the Bedford Bear, is because he was a European champion. Now they're going into the world scene. It's just taking them long. So they're fighting Tony Thompson. You want them to fight someone better, but at least they're trying to get in the world class. Tony Thompson's a world class fighter, so even the heavyweight division is that bad, but at least they're going out there and trying to get fight someone who's on that world level. So it's a step up. But that's all you can ask, isn't it?
You see, I hear people all the time saying guys like Jonathan Banks, he's rubbish, What if he's so rubbish? How comes guys like Price isn't just knocking him off? He's come off quite a high-profile win. HBO had Mitchell signed up, didn't they? You know what I mean? So why doesn't he fight? Knock off Jonathan Banks. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Hatman TV, he said Thompson is a goofy looking heavyweight, and I can't really disagree with that assessment. I know it's horrible, but I can't really disagree with that. He's coming off a devastating, traumatic knockout. We don't know what he's going to come with, man. You know, come on. That's not a good match. It's not a good match, in my opinion.
You're more impressed with Tyson Fury, though, isn't it?
I think Price probably has the edge in power, but how do I know? Who's he knocking over for me to make a legitimate claim he hits as hard as everybody's saying? And if you say anything against them, they get all up in your fucking shit saying, oh, you hate him because of this and that, you know? So I don't know. I think Tyson is the more advanced heavyweight. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. I'm more impressed with Tyson of the steps where he is. He's on the verge of fighting for a world title. That's where Price should be, in my opinion. I mean, but the thing is, beating a Thompson who does fight the Klitschko is a position, getting themselves in their position. I don't know for what belt, because there's no body, there's no belt or no belt on the line. Hopefully, maybe they might sanction a belt. Maybe, I mean, that fight with Tyson Fury and Kevin Johnson, there was no belt. All of a sudden, the WBC and Sullivan jumped in and said, "Here you are. We give you an interim belt." So hopefully, if they put a belt on the line, then you're positioned to fight a champion, and that's all you could ask for. Hopefully, the other Klitschko. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean? I'm not gonna knock it because Thompson is world class. Yeah, he's coming off a knockout, and yeah, that's why they picked him. But this is what I'm saying. But you don't even know. You don't know what Thompson might turn up. He might actually fancy it. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. You know, so it's a better opposition. I mean, who else is there for him to fight in England? They want to fight if they don't really want Fury. You know what I mean? I mean, they do, but they don't really want it now. You know what I mean? They're happy. They're both winning. You know, let's see if both of them get belts and see what happens there. But you know what I mean? England's the place to be right now. So we're getting spot with the heavyweights, even though they're not what we think they are. I mean, the whole world is watching what we do over here. All our fighters are being broadcasted. And you got Junior coming through. You know what I mean? England, you got James DeGale coming through. You got
Chris
Eubanks Jr. Yeah, you got James DeGale. You got George Grove. You know what I mean? You got Nathan Cleverly. You got a lot of black young fighters like Eric Ochan. You got Larry. What's it? Larry Okaderi. Akandale. You know what I mean? There's a lot of fighters coming through. The world is watching what we're doing over here. They're always over here now. So you know, it's an interesting time when we just enjoy the ride.
Yeah, it's true, man. What you guys keep saying about Matt Skelton, for example. I think, obviously, to me, it's obviously not the best opponent, but I think, I mean, when you think about it, I mean, obviously, I know it gets said a lot, but when you think about it from the promoter's point of view, like when you think about it from their point of view, I can understand why you do it. It's just common sense business, you know. And the thing with Thompson, I mean, it is a step up. I mean, he's operated at world class level, but again, I think it's a smart move. You know, you got him coming off a knockout, getting stopped against Vladimir. So, I mean, also, I'm not saying I agree as a boxing fan. Yeah, I want to see the big fights, but I can understand why, because you can't have a big fight every single fight. You know.
What big fights? Sam Sexton, not a big fight. They tried to build up the Audley Harrison fight like it was a big fight, not a big fight. The Matt Skelton fight, not a big fight. Matt's a good, tough brawler who exposed, I mean, David quite a little bit. People don't want to hear that, but it's the truth. He did expose him a little bit. But, you know, Matt's been stopped about 3 times. He's been beaten quite a few times by guys like Rogan, Danny Williams, and, you know, what big fights? Where are the big fights, you know? Box Nation have had hyped up fights like the Harrison fights, but it wasn't a big fight. Harrison was fighting in Brentwood. They didn't even have proper cameras in there, you know what I mean? Against a D-list domestic level, not D-list world-class, D-list domestic level fighter in his previous fight before he took on David Price. You know what I mean? Come on, man.
Okay. I don't. Well, he hasn't. I wouldn't say Price is. Yeah, he hasn't. Price hasn't had a big fight yet. But I think obviously I don't know what so I can't really defend it. I mean, all I can say is, you know, so I've tried watching a few interviews and so on to hear what Maloney and that have got to say. what it is, people don't push these guys. So it's not. It's become like a system where they know they can get away with it. They know that you get. I remember when if you follow Frank Maloney on Twitter, you know, I've seen some of these tweets about you know, he kept tweeting Matt Skelton says Price hasn't got a chin, but can Skelton stop Price, something like that. They say stuff like this and they get away with it. You know, I think the only thing you can do about it, the only thing fans could do about it if they were serious, just boycott these fights. You know, which I mean, which isn't going to happen. So yeah, just basically, I'm looking forward to seeing his next fight, and we'll see what happens. You know, but the last thing I will say though, you know, I think they're serious about Chisora. And if they are, would you guys call that a big fight if he fights Chisora?
See, well, it's a high-profile fight, a big fight. Derek got knocked out in his last fight. I mean, they're probably going to try and get Derek when he hasn't had no tune-up fight or anything like that, or a couple of, you know, I mean, fights just to get him back in the groove. That's what they're going to do, you know. So I don't know, but that's the way of boxing today, you know. They're selling you a pipe dream, you know, which has no substance, in my opinion. Once again, in my opinion.
No, but what it is, but you have to look at it from the promoter's point of view. I mean, Malone is an old man, like, so he's been, he's been around. I mean, he's in boxing. So if I'm 22 now, this man's been in boxing for like, I don't know, 40, 50 years before I was born. So they're smart enough. When they look at someone like Thompson, they know that, yeah, this is the perfect time to. It's strategic. It's the art of war. And I'm not saying I agree, but I understand why, you know. But yeah, I mean, pretty sad, but that's all I've got to say. As for Chisora, I agree, you know. So I want to see him, you know, to let him have a couple of fights first, and but I don't know what's happened with him. Like, I haven't heard anything. You know, they haven't mentioned any fight, nothing. You know. Have you got any comments, Mr. Jarrett?
About Chisora?
Yeah.
He's just been laid off, innit? Do you know what's going on? He's laid off, innit? The board of disrespect. Let me see. You asked me opinion. They just laid him off, innit? They're not really doing anything. Fat Rowan's not really doing anything. He lost in his last fight. And, you know, whether he gets his thing, Fat Rowan is doing his thing with other fighters, and that's it. He's making his money. No one's really bothered him. Whenever he gets things, walk back in there, bring him in. But the longer he lays out, his inactivity is not gonna be good. And they don't. And to Boxing Beats' question, no, he won't get a tune-up. He won't get a tune-up. They'll throw him in. Let me ask the question. They'll throw him in the walls. They'll throw him in the walls. They might probably give him Dylan or someone. They're not going to give him. He's never got. They don't do that with him. They throw him in the walls, and that's what they'll do with him. They'll give him someone to get him out of there, or to give him a test or whatever. But end of the day, he's money. He's a money machine, and then that maybe Frank Warren might think of cashing him out right now because he's too much problems, it's too much headache, and now they got a little change out of him. I mean, look. If he won that fight against David Haye, then they would have went back into for the Klitschko, because they'll try and get another money again. But they lost the fight. Furthermore than that, he called them a whole heap of trouble, Frank Warren. Even though people could say about Frank Warren this and that, oh, fish eyes. But look, he backed his boy. But the thing is, his boy lost, and he jumped on David Haye. He's there waiting to see what David Haye does, because he wants to get a piece of that kick, because David Haye could sell out a whole stadium. Chisora is just left there in a slap, because then because of his own things. His own thing. He's same way he sells tickets, the same way he took him up. But I've been saying that he's got a license. Yeah, last time I look, what is he licensed by Luxembourg? So why the heck is he still in England? See, you're saying no, he can't fight again, but he just go to Luxembourg. Why don't he pick up himself and go to another state and get some fighting over there? No, he's sitting there on his Todd, waiting for a handout. You know what I mean? Do for self. You know what I mean? We should know and feel sorry for him. He's got a license at the minute. He has got a license. He can fight anytime he wants, mate. He just wants the English light. You can fight anytime he wants. He wants the British thing and this and that. He wants them to give him the props, but they're not going to do that because the way he's conducting himself. They're not going to do it. Even with David Haye, he hasn't got his license. He's not bothered. David Haye's not bothered anyway. He don't care. He don't care. He doesn't really care. I think he's sent off for his British one, but they're not really bothered. It's the whole thing with them lot and that is the British license. The British board have already told you told you what they're on. They already told you what they're on. This one, they'd already told you how they are. They're not going to change their mind. They don't like the way them guys conducting themselves. And you got to understand this. If they give who's saying if they give Derek back his license, that he's not going to do something to embarrass them again. And then on top of that, you got the main English media and the world watching him to embarrass them again. You think they're going to put themselves through that again? You know what I mean? You got this is real talk here. This is what I mean. They don't. These establishments been around for hundreds of years, and you got Frank Warren going behind their back and getting them a license. You think they listen? Someone needs to pay for these things, mate. And then no one's going to put egg on their face. If they give him a license, they're going to get by the mainstream media. They don't want that heat. So they don't leave it for a year or two. All right? But the thing is, what I'm saying to you, he has a license. So he's the one saying, like, but Frank Warren, again, he's still waiting for freaking people to do things what he can't do for himself. He's probably there getting along. You've probably seen him. My friend said they see him in the barber shop. He's always there. He's spending off his dough. And the thing is, yeah, his dough got cut half and off by the Klitschko's. With David Hayes, though, Frank Warren's eating off his dough. Francis is eating part of his money. The trader's eating half of his money. And then listen to this. And then he gave David Hayes, if he lost the fight, 2,000 of his wins is going to send to David Hayes charity. So he gave away money again. Listen, bro.
But I give him.
He's giving away a lot of money.
It's 20 grand.
Yeah, is that how much he gave away from his purse? Exactly. So
I got to big him up for that. I'm like, wow.
No, but what am I point?
I know what you're
he's
saying.
He's in a drought right now. He's in a
money,
drought.
yeah.
Yes, he's in a drought right now. But then if he's got that money, then he must have earned a nice bit of money. But he's eating it out right now. He's sitting there eating it out, blubbering it up. So even when he does come back, mate, he's bloody out of shape. It's just a lot of things, man. It's there's too much headache, you know. He's got, like I said, he's got a license so he can fight. So we need to come off that bandwagon. Why can't he fight? He can fight anytime he wants. He just don't want to, or he's waiting for someone else to give him another handout. In terms of getting him a fight, when he could just, he's trouble though. I'm not gonna lie to you. He's trouble. He's entertaining, but he's trouble. He's a bit more trouble than. You know what I mean? People don't want to say these things, yeah. But to be honest with you, I didn't think I'd say these sort of things. He's a bit more trouble than it's worth, Because you know what I mean? You don't know. He'll come up to you, he might kiss you, he might try to bite you. You don't know what his mind state is. You know what I mean? Walk up on you on road.
Well, I haven't really got much to say about Chisora apart from I mean, the fight was July, innit? July he fought Hayes. Obviously I haven't heard anything, so he's definitely not fighting within the year. And if these guys, if these guys, Price and Maloney, they're talking about they want to take him on in February, March, whatever. So he's not going to be able to have a warm-up fight. So it's not going to be the best Derek in there. If it was the Derek, that fought Helenius, he'll probably stop Price. From what I've seen, you get me? I've got to be honest, he'd probably stop him, but. I mean, if he comes in, you get me, and his mind's not in the right place, then, he's not going to be fulfilling his potential, But I haven't really got too much to say, because...
Well, Frank's got his mileage out of Derek, you know what I mean? Like, he threw him in there, in some hard fights, the Helenius fights, the Klitschko, the Fury fight and whatever. He's got his mileage, the controversy, that's helped sell Box Nation, and now he's disposable, I suppose, to a degree now. His services are, is the word expendable, you know what I mean, right now. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you what else I want to say, so it just come to me. I recently saw Anthony Small's video. Have you ever seen it where Anthony Small's talking about Warren? Just to sum up, basically, Anthony Small's talking about, he said, like, when Anthony started getting all controversial, he said people think that Warren dropped him. I'm trying to remember. But yeah, he's basically saying along the lines of Warren basically just sort of cut him off. I didn't want to get associated with all the controversy. And I think right now, I mean, if you look at when Hay fought Chisora, if you look at the immediate aftermath, while they're still in the ring, you look at Francis looked like he was going to cry when Derek lost the fight, and then Frank was, I don't know what he was saying. I need to ask Hay. But Frank was all on top of Hay. Like he was trying to talk to him, and it's blatantly obvious. Once Derek lost that fight, to me, they don't care anymore. You don't hear him talking about him. You hear him talking about Cleverly and Froch, we want Froch and this, talking about, but that man absolutely did not care about Derek. And you know what? I just feel sorry for Derek that he's not even taking any notice of this. Like, he doesn't seem to care. You know what? They're just going to cut him loose. They're not even going to, as Mr. Jarrett said, they're just going to put him in against Price and just, they're not even going to care, Because, as I say, for them to not even mention him, I haven't heard. You know what? If you read, I've been reading Frank's articles in the Sun newspaper. I don't hear him say anything about Derek. He talks about everybody. He talks about Flintoff and Fury, and they don't want to talk about Derek. You get me?
Again, yeah. You understand, yeah. This is a business, yeah, and you gotta understand. You gotta get along with people. Derek, yeah. Even though you like him and this and that, you can. As much as people like him, a lot of people dislike him, and he rubs people up the wrong way. And the way he conducted himself and that. The thing is, yeah, if you look at the whole thing, that whole Munich thing, if he sat there behind the table, then that wouldn't have happened. None of that would have happened. But he was going to get trouble for spitting in the Klitschko's face already and slapping the champion. You got to understand, all right, on a level, yeah, they are the champions and people do disrespect him. But he's watching all this and thinking, I can go up and just do what I want to do. You can't do that. You know what I mean? He took a big cut out of his paycheck for that. And then now he's got a big slap out of his life. Now you got to learn, they done that to teach him a lesson, because that's not the way they want to be represented. If they're gonna say they're license holders, they don't want to do that. Now Derek and himself, yeah, has come out and apologized and this and that, and they said this and that. But I've already told you, we don't know when we're gonna give his license back. So it's even worse that at least they give you a suspension. They tell you a year. They just said they didn't even know when. It's like when you go to jail, you're on a magistrate's pleasure. Anyone knows about that? It's when the Queen decides to let you out. You don't know when you're coming out, and that's what they've given him. They've given a sentence of death. With no parole for your license. See, with Dillian White, at least, I mean, we haven't heard from him, but I think I see him in training that, so maybe they're probably going to let him come fight again, probably. But what I'm saying is no parole, no chance to come back, because another thing as well is probably bothering him. He's got a license from somewhere else, and David Hay his PR people are correct, putting him in the public eye and making him be on the TV thing. I'm a celebrity, get me out of here, and put him in all the right places, making him look good. Yeah. So when he goes to the British Border Control, he goes, "Look what I've been doing. I didn't go out there. He attacked me. He's
oh yeah, come on.
Yeah, because that's why he put himself in there. That's why he put himself in all these shows and this and that. His PR people have done a great job, and then on top of that, you know what I mean? Up until that point, Dave has never done anything bad. The only thing he's done is probably bad is the whole toe incident, where people didn't really like. But other than that, David's never really done anything bad to upset anyone. Yeah, and I mean, and Chisora is known for just doing a whole heap of stuff, hating it, But you know what I mean? I'm not gonna down my brother. Yeah, Chisora is what it is, yeah. But he's disciplined. His lack of discipline is good for him in boxing, but another place is not good for him.
I think Chisora bought into the R&B braids look, but David comes from Bermondsey, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know too much about Bermondsey these days, but when he was growing up in there, certainly, in the 80s and 90s and them times there, racist. Very racist. Bottom line, racist. And tough area, you know what I'm saying? So he's probably had to lay out 1 and 2 men in his time, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, Derek bought into that and thought that he could intimidate him, but he miscalculated on this occasion.
Yeah, because of course, he thought he was going to run. Chisora thought he was going to run because he's reading the comment. Yeah, he did. He thought he was reading the comments.
Who was it that said, "Run, David, run"?
Yeah, of course they did.
Was it the Klitschko's?
No, because the thing is,
someone said
because they're thinking reading comments and David's come across like he's a softie and this and that. He thought Derek's your works on intimidation. So when he came down there, he thought, he's going to leg it. He held his ground. No. And boy, he didn't wait around as well. He never waited around for you to deck him or do anything. He thought, what? I'm going to let you have it. And then on top of that, he's come out and said, boy, if anyone moves to you in that way, he's condoned these actions and said, I'll do the same thing again. You know what I mean? I don't care what they like about it, and you have to respect that. And more likely, but that's, again, if they don't give David Hayes license, David don't care. He's still got his thingy license. He'll go to Germany and still
Oh
fight.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So he thinks look rosy for David and not so for Derek. But what the good thing about it is what I saw after the fight is they shook hands and Derek agreed to pay the money for his charity and this and that. And these are the things overlooked, but they don't really care. The Britain Border Control, they've been embarrassed and they've had egg on their face, and they don't like the idea of being splat over the paper and to be judge and executioner. So they gave Derek a sentence of with no parole rate, as far as I'm concerned, and that's where he is, and that's what's happening.
The person who really annoyed me around the time when that fracas broke out was that Sky news reporter, that woman. I can't remember her name, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember her. Yeah.
Fucking annoying. She kept trying to get David Haye to apologize for boxing up Derek. And David just stayed resolute. And he said, no. Anybody attacks you, you're in your full right to do this and that. And yeah, you know what I mean, 100%. You know what I mean? I co-sign that until I rest in that box or I get burnt up in cremation or whatever.
You remember what he said? He said stomp on his head. Like he said, if someone breaks into your house, stomp on their head.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer anybody invading your space has no control of how much degrees of retaliation you choose to dish out. You know what I'm saying? As far as I'm concerned.
Simple things there you go. So at the end of the day, that's where we stand at the minute, and to be honest, the world moves on. I mean, if this carries on and he's not around, no one's gonna forget him. He's gonna become like Ikabuchi. Oh, he was really good. I wonder what happened to him. It's just the same thing, isn't it? When you put out the public eye in the media, then that's what happens. I mean, I've tried to talk to him in his inbox in Facebook, and he's probably on the thing where he can't talk to none of the media. He's probably been told don't talk to no one.
I know, but
They probably put a blockade on him. Frank Warren's probably don't talk to no one else no more. So he probably can't even talk to us. So then he can't even say anything about his position or anything. You know what I mean? Because if he says anything, he's worried about repercussions now. So now he's paranoid of saying anything. He's completely quiet and he's basically just taking his medicine.
All right. Some people say Don Charles is not a good trainer. What's you guys' response to that?
I disagree.
I disagree as well. Yeah.
He's not a great trainer. He's a credible trainer.
So what beats? So what beats brought up the point. So finish the point off. What's your?
I didn't say he was a bad trainer. I'm just saying what a lot of people say. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to get you guys' take on that. You know what I mean? We're building here. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, but this is how I respond to those people. It's simple, yeah. They say he's not a good trainer. So as far as I'm guessing, they're basing that on Ali Adams' loss and Derek Chidore's losses. So to me, let me go through it. Ali Adams got sparked out by Uli Harrison, sorry to say. To me, I don't care who trained Ali Adams. He just wasn't good enough to beat Uli Harrison at that time. As for Derek, look who Derek's lost to. He beat Hellenius, but he lost to Fury, he lost to Vitali, and he lost to Haye. Fury was like a 50-50 fight. He should have won. It didn't turn up in shape. So okay, there's that one that, yeah, the team, they should have sorted that out. But as for the other two losses, losing to Vitali and Haye, what I'm getting at, that's got nothing to do with Don Charles. But it's too much of a step up. The guy he only had like 15 fights or whatever. You're talking about Vitali, who's had 50 plus fights. You get me? The reigning heavyweight champ. I don't care who he's training with. You could train with Batman. Like, you know, it would have been too soon. And Haye, again, the same thing. Haye was just too experienced. Like, you know, all that stuff people were saying. Oh, you know, Haye's not a real heavyweight. You know, this could be. Nah, Haye showed what he could do. So, have you got anything to say, Mr. Jarrett?
I say anyone say he's a good trainer. He's put Derek on the world scene. He's a known guy. Time you get someone in the world scene, you're a known guy. Don't care. Can't be a bad trainer if you can't get your fighter on the world scene. He's been with Derek for a long while. You know what I mean? So, at the end of the day, people say he's a bad trainer. When it's thing, Derek's the one who decides what he wants to do. I mean, Don Charles tried to restrain him. I mean, end of the day, he's a trainer, and as far as I'm concerned, the guys he trained, they're quite happy with him. And when he's you could only judge a trainer by when they're finished. So his career is still active. So when it's all said and done, then you can start commenting about his thing. Other than that, you should keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
Is Adam Booth a great trainer?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, but I think with Booth, what really impresses me so much about him is he's got like his mind. He is such a great manager. I think the job that he did with David Hay is just top notch. You know, people say Hay hasn't cleaned up the heavyweight division and so on. But if those people listen, if you watch, people don't do their research. If you go back, if you watch all of Hay and Booth's interviews, if you read between them lines, them guys never cared about cleaning up the division. So to me, and as a trainer, well, yeah, he's done. Also, the only other thing I want to mention quickly about as a trainer, when people keep getting on about, oh, he hasn't trained that many people and so on. Well, he's not trying to. You get me? If a guy's just not interested, like his thing was, I just want to take Hay to the top. He trained a few different people, Anthony Small, some other guys. His thing was just all about Hay. Now he's taking on Grove, some other guys. So I think highly of Booth.
Adam Booth's a credible trainer. Like, innit? He's a credible trainer. Like, when people criticize trainers and this and that, like, you got great trainers and you got trainers underneath that level, and then that's it. You know what I mean? He's got David Hay there. That's his main guy. David Hay. Everyone knows who David Hay is. Then you'd have to say Adam Booth's a good trainer. He's been with him his whole career. He's doing it right with George Grove, and whoever he's touched, he's put them all the way to he's getting them all the way to the level. So that's all you can say, innit? Like, I don't really, when people diss trainers, I'm not one of these people to be criticizing trainers, man. I mean, Freddie Roach gets a lot of slack, but yeah, the reason why he gets a lot of slack, because he's been five-time trainer trainer of the year. That's why you give him a lot of criticism. But all these other trainers, I can't really critique them until they've achieved something. Then I start to critique them. And what you mentioned about Emmanuel Stewart, you got to understand, Emmanuel Stewart came from these amateurs. He could have been a great trainer just coming from the amateurs. Right, and you could say that, but you got some of these fighters like Don Charles, they haven't had that many fighters at the minute, and they used to fight themselves. So that's what I'm saying to you. Yeah, they think, but Manuel Stewart, you're really young age, decided to be a trainer, and these guys haven't got that many fights underneath them as Emmanuel Stewart, and coming from a serious gym like Emmanuel Stewart, in Detroit. So you know what I mean? It's a different level, completely different level.
James DeGirl, George Groves. Who is ahead in terms of moving up the super middleweight rankings out of the two?
Well, right now.
They're the same right now, man. Same right now. Because you know why? James DeGirl already, since he's got to Channel 5 and the year layoff, he's got another fight next week. He's not hanging around. He's catching up. He's a European champion, right? He fought a fight and it was a hard fight on his comeback, and you can see his timing was off. And now he's got another fight again. We're gonna see next week. Now George DeGirl, George Grove, he's fighting a guy who just said his retirement. And I don't really or credit the guy he's fighting. I think James DeGirl, I think they're at the same level. If you ask me, right now they're the same level, because right in terms of James DeGirl, if he was more active, it'd probably be a higher, because I had him slightly higher. Even though George Groves beat him, I feel like James DeGirl won that fight. Right now, I'd say they're even. They're about even where they want to be. None of them's on the world scene, right? And if George right now, if he beats Glenn Johnson, he feels like, oh, that's a world-class fighter. Yeah, he is a world-class fighter, but the guy just retired. I don't know how much credit you can get from that. You can only get negative criticism from that, but we'll see. But I think they're the same. I think they're basically the same at the minute, same level at the minute.
Can you, if you had to pick one over the other, right?
No, the same level. Because you know why? Because he's been inactive because of the contracts dispute with Frank Warren. He wanted to be active, and they laid him off. They didn't have no fights for him. So you credit it now. He's only had a couple of months or 2 months off, and now he's got another fight, and he wants to have more fights. He wants to be active. He wants all the dates out here. Same with Eubank Jr. He wants the dates, and then, when you got fighters who want to fight, and then you look at their class opposition, you have to say that right now they're probably the same. Because every time George Grove fights, he gets injured. He's off for another year or 6 months. He's always got something going on with him. You know what I mean? James DeGirl, even though he got bashed up in the last fight, he's still willing to go back in there again.
To be honest, I pretty much agree with everything Mr. Jarrett has said. I got no comment to make.
Next week we've got the Pacquiao Marquez, and then we've got
Yeah.
Rigondeaux, and we've got
Who's Rigondeaux fighting?
I don't know, man. I'm not too sure about his opposition, but it's the 50 Cent's debut anyway, so should be interesting in the Bradley Center. We should talk about today's thing with Zab Judah and Garcia and Garcia's dad. I mean, what happened? I mean, that thing is to me, when I saw that, man, I didn't like it at all, man. It was quite thuggish. I mean, the whole thing is quite ghetto. I mean, his dad always does that. I'm not saying Zab Judah act like a ghetto, but it's just how it's turned into. I mean, it's like they're taking it outside the ring. Where on man's looking to fight on road, or they're gonna catch him out on road. Don't come down to my ends. And let me see what I'm saying. On roads and this and that. I really enjoy that. I don't really enjoy that. I mean, side of the boxing that I wasn't feeling. I was surprised, man. Like Zab, got upset by his dad, but he said like he felt like he disrespected him. He disrespected because they saw him earlier on and they didn't say nothing then. But I go, what do you expect? But if your dad want to say that, you should have said it. That's what your dad always does. That you should have put your headphones on and didn't listen to what he had to say, and then say it, and then rebuttal him. Someone says that to me, I'll eat whatever and I'll come back even harder. He didn't have to go to where it went to. You know what I mean? The security, obviously, they have next press conference. The security needs to be in the middle, but end of the day, that's building up a fight. It didn't need to be hyped like that. I mean, you're gonna watch it anyway. I don't know if people's gonna tune in extra because they saw that. If anything, it might just turn boxing fans away, because I'll tell you what, it turned me away. I'm not going to lie. It turned me away. I mean, I watch it, but it made me feel, honestly, I felt a bit sick. That's what I have to say about that.
It's boxing. It just comes with the territory. That will blow over, man. You know what I mean? That will blow over. I think, to be honest, like, there's been a lot of extracurricular posturing, all that shit. And it's, I'm not saying they're doing it deliberately, but obviously people are going to really want to see the fight. Yeah, Zab's going to bring the pain and Danny's going to do. But the truth is, Andre Berto and Zab, for some reason, even though sometimes they don't always perform up to the level that they should do sometimes, before they fight, everybody, I bet Judah's going to do this. I bet Berto's going to do this. And then, most of the times, not most of the times, but a lot of the times, they just flop out. You know what I'm saying? That's the truth.
I don't know why you'd put them in the same level. Zab's achieved much more. What do you say?
I'm not saying they're at the same level. I'm saying their ring temperaments, their consistency, Oh,
well, I don't know about that, because Andre Berto, I wasn't expecting it. I had expectations on him anyway. I mean, when you went in against Victor Ortiz, you just thought he probably beat him because Victor Ortiz got knocked out. I wasn't overly expecting anything special in that fight. But Zab, you expect big things from Zab. When people think Zab's done, Dan Kabak became an undisputed welterweight champion, and he became a 2-time welterweight champion. You know what I mean? Zab's done. He's done quite a lot, man. The only thing with Zab, yeah, is that the only thing you can play about Zab is that when he starts getting hammered on you, he starts to act funny, bruv. You know what I mean? He doesn't like it. Either he'll go on the floor and say, "Oh, he hit me low," and the guy probably did hit him low, but he'll make a big things out of things that are probably not that big. I mean, actually, I shouldn't really say that, because Amir Khan did let him low. You know what I mean? And then Costu, he did want to fight after Costu, so it's just one of them things. But Zab's expectation and skill set is much higher. I mean, if you're talking about their skill set is very high. But the expectation over Zab was much higher than it is over Berto. Berto. I mean, Berto was supposed to fight Shane Mosley before the Haiti disaster. You know what I mean? And that would have been interesting to see what happened then.
It sounds like you're saying that you think Zab has a chance against Garcia. Is that what you're saying?
Against what? Against Garcia?
Yeah.
He has the ability to. I don't know, when Garcia starts touching you, boy, he hits harder than Khan, boy. It's much harder than Khan, if what I see. But boy, you have to catch Zab first. But you know what I mean? He's not. Zab's saying he's flat-footed. Yeah, he may be, but eventually he's gonna catch you. So we see what happens when Zab gets caught. But Zab's fought a welterweight. He fought at 147, and he was doing alright at that weight. I don't know if you underestimate Carlos Baldwin or whatever, but sometimes he, like you said, like he lets you down. He does let you down. But there's no big expectation on Berto. But with Thingy, it was Zabit, yeah. His expectations on him but they're different levels. They're different levels, man. One's just hold the one's hold what Bertels only hold 2 belts, IBF and WBC welterweight belt. Zab became an undisputed welterweight champion, and he's holding the belt at a lower weight. All right, and he held it at young when he got it, fairly young and young in his career. So Zab is, you know, I was like, they're totally different, man. One's a 2-weight champion, one's a 2-time world champion, and to be honest with you, Zab has produced in the big fight. His second fight with Corey Spinks, everyone thought he was going to win. He knocked him out. So that's what I mean. People say he hasn't produced, but he has. I think whatever happens, if he loses this fight, then you have to say with Zab, he's going to have to retire. If he loses that fight, if Garcia loses that fight, you know, he can still come again. But if Zab loses this fight, right, he'll probably lose this fight. Yeah, you have to say Zab's done as a world time operator. But people have been saying that for a while though. But you know, we'll see what happens, innit? But I didn't like the way that whole thing went on. It rubbed me the wrong way, man. I'm the only one maybe, but for just me, I didn't like it at all, man. I was just there watching it, my mouth open in complete shock. So that's something I expect, yeah. You know, a football match or something, man. The reason why, if you watched it, the reason why it got them brothers. See them, the Watson brothers got involved. He was cussing them. Twins, yeah, he was gunning them. Then he got someone's dad, involving someone's dad as well, like involving that. And the thing is, what surprised me, because Zab's been obviously very, very religious and Christian. Now he's just there, he's trying to hold himself back. But man, it was you know what I mean? Because Zab's been on this thing where he's been very spiritual. I mean, you look on his Facebook, he's reading out Psalms, this and that, and that's why that's why that shocked me.
Somebody being religious, just their announcement of that they're religious just don't impress me at all. You know what I mean?
Now, what I'm saying to you is that I understand that someone's saying they're religious, but acting and carrying on their way, and then every time you see on their Facebook religious psalms and saying this and saying that, right? And all of a sudden, yeah, you put yourself in a situation where it is all your works, what you did, just came down to nothing, and now you just look at a complete fug. All the work you've done to get to this point is just come crashing down. And Danny Garcia is loving it because I love this shit. I love my dad talking shit. He enjoyed the whole thing. You know, that's what made me feel sick about that whole thing.
Look, yeah, I mean, that will blow over, yeah. You know, they'll go back home to their expensive houses. I see.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
I see Zab on Facebook with some serious Hummer. He's playing him gadget and tired. I mean, playing with his kids. He's probably got a match and all that. Listen, it will blow over, man. It'll blow over, and boxing will move on. You know what I mean?
Oh, you saw his Facebook pictures as well.
Yeah, man. It's a big man now, you know what I mean? He'll blow that over. He'll take the anger into the ring and you see what I mean? It's over. So what about Amir Khan versus this Melina dude?
Melina?
Oh, yeah, these two, Amir Khan, listen, it's a mismatch. It's two, I think he's going to get in 1 or 2 rounds. I think Khan's a welterweight. He's fighting some lightweight. It's too much of a, it's going to be, you see how aggressive Khan is, you get me? I think he's going to end it quick. But I'm not saying, I think this will be a different Amir Khan. Like, I think we will see something different from him, but you know what, the guy's just too explosive and too fast, so I think he'll just be too much for Melina. Yeah, you know.
Have you seen Melina fight?
No, if I'm honest, I've tried looking for some clips. But as I say, I've seen because you know what it is. You remember what you were saying again about Price? What you said about the way he punches. You said if you put him in with someone like what's his name, Johnson or whatever, like, if he steps it up, he'll look the same way he did against Skelton. What I'm trying to say is I don't always go by. To me, so what I'm trying to say, I think the best way to judge a fighter's class is to box work them. Simple. Look at the guys that they fought and how they did. And if you look at Melina, he's had 17 wins and seven knockouts. How's he going to keep Khan off him? How's he going to, does anyone disagree at all?
I'll just say it's Khan is a must win for Khan, and end of the day, you really know how to beat him. You just walk into him, throw your big hooks and bro hooks, and just reach for the sky. That's how you beat him. I mean, end of the day, the blueprint's been put out there. I mean, end of the day, Khan's trying to come back from that. I mean, when someone figures out how to beat you, everyone's coming on you. When Mike Tyson was figured out how to beat, you try and back him up, keep backing him up. Everyone came down on him. Same thing for Khan. He's been figured out. They're just gonna walk him down. I don't care who you are. This guy, if he beats him, I'm not gonna be shocked, right? I'm not gonna be shocked because everyone was underestimating Danny Garcia. I did as well. I said, yeah, Danny Garcia looked decent, but he didn't show me anything to see what he was gonna do against Khan. Now Danny Garcia is the big thing on the scene. This Molina, he knocks out Khan, he becomes a big thing as well. So it's possible. Let me feel what I'm saying. It's possible that he can get knocked out, and then if he gets knocked out, I won't be surprised if Khan beats the guy. He can't either way. Khan's in a thing where if he beats the guy, or that guy was lower position. If he can't loses, that guy's. You know what I mean? It's just in a no-win situation. And if he fights higher level, he's gonna get knocked out. He's just wherever he goes, this is pain, bruv. It's just pain wherever you go. You know what, like Mr. T in Rocky 3 goes, what's your prediction? Pain. That's what this is. Pain, bruv. You know what I mean? That's all this is. The guy is probably. You don't even need to have a hard punch with him. Just go and slug with Khan. Slug with him. If Virgil might have changed them, then fine. But you know when you start hitting on the chin, you just revert what you know, and Khan's cocky. We'll see anyway. I don't want to diss it, but if he loses, he loses. If he wins, he wins. Either way, that fight doesn't move Khan any closer or nearer to where he wants to be. And if he goes and fights the elite, he might lose again. Yeah, and that's it.
Wait, do you think he can knock him out though?
Ooh, the guy, Molina, yes. I think anyone right now, everyone can knock him out right now. Doesn't take much now. Just go in there and just slug with him.
But if I ask you to give me a prediction right now, I'm gonna say Khan knocks him out 2-3 rounds. Do you have a prediction you're willing to give, please?
What I'm saying a prediction is pain. I told you.
Come on, man.
Listen, I'm telling you, it's gonna be. Look, it's either this way. Pain. Either if Khan wins, he's gonna get criticized. That's pain. If the guy knocks Khan out, there's pain there. Either wherever he goes, there's pain. It's nothing. It doesn't move him anywhere. It's a stagnant fight. It's like you're just there in the middle. You beat him, so what? You're supposed to. If you lose, damn, you're like, bruv, you know what I mean? Your career is just there's another step out the door. It's not doing anything for your career. Why I picked that opponent? Because they want a safe guy. But that safe guy might still turn you out. I'll put in case Ricky Hatton versus Francesco. Supposed to be a safe guy, a non-puncher, a punching bag, and look what happened there. And I predicted that loss, didn't I? And everyone was shocked on that one.
I'll give you a prop.
Yeah, I'm saying this one again. If Khan gets flattened again, it's the same thing. When you're on the world class scene, there's no friggin' walkovers, mate. Don't care who you think, who you put in there. Yeah, because you don't. And then on top of that, these guys know what you've done in your track record. They know what you did before. And now I'm thinking, fuck that. Like Danny Williams, when he went with Mike Tyson, he said, fuck that Mike Tyson's. This is an old Mike Tyson's. I've seen him get banged over here and there. I'm going in, I'm going to care. I don't care what he throws to me. He's gonna break. And that's what Danny Williams went out and done. If Molina's got the same spirit, I don't care what Khan's doing. I'm going to get close to him. I'm going to throw my left hook and right hook, and I'm going to connect with him. I'm going to keep banging him in. That's what you do, bro. You do what the next man does. If someone's, you know what I mean? If someone's climbing out
You really think it's that easy to beat him?
Yeah, can I ask you a question? See the Danny Garcia fight, going into that Khan fight. How did you perceive? Who did you pick in that fight?
No, I thought Khan would win, but I thought it would have been I did have it as a hard fight. You know, possible points. You know, that's what I had it as, a Khan victory on points.
Yeah, see, everyone underestimated Garcia. Everyone did.
Yeah, cool. No. I admit that.
Yeah, exactly.
As I say, nah. To me, but I never said it to the same degree. Listen, I admit I could be wrong, but I just don't see. You remember when Khan fought Dimitri Salita? That to me. That's what I'm predicting. I'm putting myself on a limb. I think that's what Khan is going to do to this guy. It's going to be a Molina type of situation. He's coming. He's a lightweight. I tell you, how's he going to have the strength? Nah. And that's I'm putting it out there. Okay, if I'm wrong, okay, cool. But nah.
So you guys think he should fight somebody a bit tougher in his return?
That's not a fair question. I'm not. I haven't said anything about. I might have sort of implied it, but I'm not saying. I haven't said. I'm not trying to question that. All I'm trying to do is just make the prediction. You get me? I'm not. It's just I can't really be bothered to go into who he should fight. But what I'm
I
saying,
I'll tell you.
please do, please do.
Who I think he should fight? He should fight a better opposition. Should fight someone. He should fight a better opposition. He should go against someone like Paulie and step up out the weights class. So stay in there for. Oh, I want to. What's he say? I want to. You had half the belts in the division. I mean, you're not gonna get them again because Danny Garcia's got the belts. So why don't you step up and beat Paulie? So he should have done. Yeah, should go against Paulie. People give him. I'll give him credit for going against Paulie. He's beat him already. It's a step up class. And listen. Then and you're one step away from fighting Kell Brook, and you got a belt. There you go. That's what I would give him credit for. Not where he is now. You're not gonna. It's like Evander Holyfield saying I'm gonna be another undisputed champion. You just listen. You're not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. The weight class has gone past you now. You need to leave it and go up. Yeah, and go there. You can beat Paulie, and then you can cash out, and it'll be a good fight with Kell Brook, and that's where he needs to go. That's a safe road for him, and that's a credible. People will give him credit. Not where he is now. What are you doing? He's just there. This is not doing anything for me.
But you know what? Maybe I'm being too soft because the thing is, if you look at when Robinson fought Randy Turpin, he lost to Turpin, and he boxed him. What was it? 60 days later, and he beat him. Get me? So in this era, I don't know if like they're too soft. Like I'm not even. I don't know. I'm not even the fighters, but I just think. Sorry. You know what? I take my statement back. I agree with Mr. Jarrett. He should box someone like Malignaggi. See what you're made of.
Mm-hmm.
You beating the guy before. I remember that fight. I remember watching that fight. He beat the guy so bad. The guy was still throwing. Paulie was trying to hit the referee, and you're scared to get it. I remember that. That was just one of those desperate. It's like getting beaten up, and then your dad's holding you, and you're still trying to. You beat the guy up like that, and his team is scared of Paulie. I'm not saying Khan is, but his team has basically looked at it and go, "Oh no, Paulie's too much." No one can try and convince me that with Molina, the only reason they've taken him, and I'm not talking about Amir. I don't know what's going on with Amir, but his team have just looked at Molina and go, "Yeah, this is an easy fight." He hasn't got a title or nothing, so you can't say he hasn't won an eliminator. So that's the only reason they would have taken him.
Well, how far do you think they should push him on his return? Would you put him straight back into a rematch with Danny Garcia?
No, not with Garcia. I think that's just. I'll be like, listen to me, man. No. Listen, I tell him, I'd rather you fight my mum before you fight. You get me? Like Garcia. Like that. I'm not Garcia, but I would say
it's long. So you got Garcia. You see, the thing is, look, right? Amir could have beat Garcia, right? He could have just done what he did on the outside, but that's what everyone likes. Khan, because Khan, even if he's beating someone, he just takes risks, right? And this inactivity, everyone's pushed him so way back. He's not as bad as everyone thinks he is. It's because he's been off for so long and he frustrated from the whole drug scandal and losing his belts, and he was just pissed off. Now, if you calm him down, he'll go back to what he's confident in this and that, and maybe they're going to do that with Virgil. But the opponent they've given him, we'll see what's going on. We'll see. We could measure him from that opponent, but for me, he could have stepped up. And now that Kell Brook is a big fight. It's a big fight for him. It's something he can get up for, and it's something the fans are thinking, and that's what you expect from Khan. Big fights. Big fights. Just leave the weight class alone. Leave the weight class alone, mate. You said you want to step up. There's a good reason why to step up as well.
Okay.
That's what I see, mate. So we've got Danny Garcia. Who else we got over there? We got
I don't know. Judah hasn't.
You got Lucien Matisse. Matisse is one of the champions, but he's an interim champion, right? We got Peterson. Everywhere he goes, he's getting. Everywhere he goes, everywhere he goes, there's no soft cushion, is there?
But who needs to fight for a world ranking when you've got Golden Boy behind you?
No, I know, but I'm just saying. But Golden Boy will throw you to the wall. That's why they gave him Danny Garcia. Calm was, you know what I mean? Listen, mate, it doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying, Khan, he's the one who loves the belts, isn't it? He's the one who loves the belts, and they know he's a cash cow. He's a cash cow, bro. He brings a lot of money, bro. He brings a lot of revenue to Las Vegas and that, man. The Indians, he's the only Indian fighter out there, and people remember Nassim Khan. People remember Nassim Hamid. So when they see him and the kind of thing, they follow him, you know. So that's that.
I think Khan. He's built his name up of. He's known, like, he's had these really exciting fights, like the Medina fight, the Peterson fight, the Judah fight. I think even when he loses, it's an exciting fight. So
yes,
you know, I think that's he's pretty cool. I mean, he is a big draw, but
he's a massive draw. It's a massive draw. That's Golden Boy love him. He brings a lot of money and he's fighting so exciting. No doubt about that, mate. His fights are exciting. But the bottom line is, he's fighting a pillow cushion. And they know why. Everyone knows why he's doing it, and it's not good for it. I mean, at the end of the day, he's gonna beat him, but then we'll see what happens if he gets knocked out. Like I said, I'm not surprised. If he wins, then then he's supposed to win. Either way, it's just it's not doing anything, you know.
I hear.
Yeah, it's a stalemate. Simple as that, you know. But we have to talk about it because it's boxing. You know what I mean? And same thing, Pacquiao. When I talked to Jeff Mayweather indicated to me that if Pacquiao gets through that fight, the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight will happen because they're in negotiations with that right now.
Think Manny could exploit Floyd's inactivity?
Nah, I don't think so.
Floyd's an old boy now, you know. He ain't no young spring chicken no more. No, he's not unbeatable. You get what I'm saying? He can be beat, but we just haven't seen it. You know what I'm saying? And Pacquiao surely has a slight chance, surely.
Nah, he'll be fine.
Oh, no.
He'll be fine. Thing is, you got to understand he's an elite fighter and he gets up for big fights. That's it. He's won them fights. He's not fighting no one if it ain't no belt on the line. And furthermore, he ain't fighting for the elite fighter. He gets up for the big fights. When there's the big fights, he turns up. When he win against Arturo Gatti, he turns up. When he win against Ricky Hatton, he turns up. De La Hoya, he turns up. The big fights, Floyd gets better and better. Better and better, mate. Better and better. He turns up. I'm not concerned about his layoff or anything like that. He's always in good shape. So that's gonna be a good fight. So anyway, that's a possibility. Does Pacquiao? I want Pacquiao to get through because I want that fight to happen.
If the fight's made with no catch weight to 154, Manny gets destroyed. Roids or not.
Pacquiao can't get up to them weights there. He struggles even to get. He shouldn't even be a 140. He's at 147. He's really like a 135er. If anything, he's on Broner's radar. That's what it should be.
Okay.
That's what it should be. And Broner, him against Broner. Hey, that's not where he wants to be, mate. And Marquez is always on Broner's radar as well.
Marquez ain't fucking with Broner. No way.
No,
Marquez is gonna retire after this fight, man. Because that's it. That's what he again. Fight when you're an elite fighter. You only want big fights. And it's like you're on a big fight and go into the sunset.
That's cool. Oh no, all I was just gonna say was about Pacquiao and Broner. So I mean, I don't know why there's so much hype around Pacquiao. Because from what I've seen now, he's clearly on the decline. So I don't see any reason Marcus can't beat him decisively, and I don't see why Broner can't beat him. I think it'll be a case if he fought Broner. I'm going to go ahead and say I think Broner will just be too quick. Get me?
You know go on.
I know it's a risk saying that because I know everyone, the whole experience thing, but Pacquiao's on the decline. So if you know what it is. I don't know. Have you heard what Alex Ariza said? Alex Ariza said he said Pacquiao, Pacquiao's looking great in training camp. But then he goes, well, he always looks great in training, and then on the night he struggles against Marquez. Like, it was up on, someone interviewed him. He actually said that, So people start, with Ariza, I think the reason he's sort of so controversial over there, because he's sort of like me, because he's not attached to any one guy. He just says he'll just sort of let all that stuff out, So what I'm trying to get at. It's the same thing with what Angel Garcia said. I believe him. You get me? I believe him. So, without getting into it now, I'm thinking Marcus is gonna win this one. But yeah. Anyway.
There's a possibility when Garcia gets the fight, he's gonna fight he's gonna fight Bam Bam Rios. That there was Bam Spears been talking on Twitter. They're having a battle on Twitter. So look out for that fight. If he gets past Judah, but Rios, because Rios is at 140. See, this is what I'm saying. At 140 stacked. You see what I'm trying to say? There's people like there's people like him in there waiting for Khan, right? And so if they get past that, that's a possible fight. Garcia versus Bam Bam Rios, which will be a huge fight. Huge fight. I mean, I don't know how much money it will generate because it's not a thing, but elite level. But boy, it's just for anyone who knows anything about boxing. Wow, that's like
that fight's gonna be that's gonna be
that's the fight that the dad was talking about when they get past Zuda. So, know what I mean? And this is what I'm saying. The Khan is not even in the picture. You see what I'm saying? So you might as well go up to 140, 147, and you see how you do there.
I'd put Khan in with Rios. That'd be a good fight, man.
It'll be a complete disaster. Why would you do that to him? You see how evil you are. You see how evil you are. That's actually very evil. You know that. Why would you do that to him? What about Brandon Rios versus Matisse? You know what I mean? See people. See, I'm saying that. See,
allow it, man.
You see all these fights where people go, or Matisse versus Khan. You see Khan. He needs to leave it alone, mate. He needs to leave it alone. You know, he needs to leave that division alone. There's too much. You know what I mean?
So from what you're saying, really, he's doomed. Khan is doomed.
Bro, he's an elite fighter. Don't get it twisted. He's an elite fighter with frailties, and people know how to beat you. I told you, give the analogy like Mike Tyson. Doesn't matter, bro. When you're good and someone knows how to figure your style out, boy, they'll come in and get you. Whether Hunter can come in and change anything, we'll see. But when you get hit on your chin, all you remember is what you know. You know what I mean? So it's an interesting time for boxing. But I'll tell you what, yeah.
Go on.
It's been a lot. It's been a long time when we've got all these decent fights were actually coming. Before, only for about a couple of years ago, all we cared about is Manny Pacquiao and Floyd. Now that's on the back burner. If you ask people, would you see Marquez? You see Pacquiao and Floyd, or you'd like to see Brandon Rios and Garcia. I'll tell you what, mate. The polls will be closer. Or you'll see Brandon Rios versus Matisse. You know what I mean? The polls will be close in there. And look, what about Khan versus Oshie Alushikin? Khan versus Alushikin. You see what I'm saying? That's a good fight, you know.
Damn, Alushikin's movement could give Khan fits, boy. That'd be so interesting. That's a great matchup.
You see what I'm saying? I can reel the fights off. I can keep reeling them off at 140. I can just reel them all off. There's beautiful fights at 140. Beautiful fights there.
But just to check, do either of you actually want to watch Mayweather Pacquiao? Do you still care?
Yeah, of course you do. Because
I don't. I
just want to get the conclusion, get over and done with. But what I'm saying to you is that's not the main one. There's more mouth-watering one because you know they're not fighting at their peak where they were a couple of years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
On the peak. So you still watch it. But what I'm saying to you, them fights, you know these guys are in their prime. You know what I mean? These are legendary fights, and you know someone's going to get stopped in an epic. You know what I mean? You haven't seen something like that since Corrales and Castillo. But because you can say Castillo wasn't really in his prime, you know what I mean? But you're getting good fights where guys are active, and you know they're both active and they want to fight and they're young.
What about heavyweights?
We don't look at the heavyweight division. All we want to see in that division is the Klitschko's gone, and Price and Fury fight for the undisputed champion, and maybe they block.
Oh, but how can you be ignoring my man Hayes?
No one's interested in Hayes because Hayes said when he wins the belts, Hayes been a world champion, but Hayes said when he beats one of the Klitschko's, he's going to retire. He just wants to beat the belt and retire. He's not going to defend it. I know I don't like that. I don't like the idea you're just gonna win it. Say I got it. I'm just gonna dash it in the bin. People want to see you to get your belt and defend it.
Yeah, but are you not interested in seeing Hayen and Vitali?
I'm interested in a guy getting the belt and the threat in the bin.
Why not Beach? Beach, go on. Your turn.
Not interested. Not interested. To me, he has to fight somebody who's about in the division. Somebody coming up, you know, with a bit of spark. You know, Jonathan Banks would do. You know what I'm saying? That would do. Fight Jonathan Banks, then yeah, I'll support the title bid. You know, what's he did? What? He beat Derek Chisora, okay. And forget if Derek Chisora actually beat Robert Helenius, you know what I mean? It's a loss. It's an L. It's an L. His last win was against a man who lost 3 out of his last 4. You know, that's not good enough. And no.
No, that don't count. Helenius don't count, but
in my opinion, his last shot of the title, the Tollgate fight, You know, he flopped out. I'm a David Haye fan. He flopped out. It wasn't good. I'm not saying that it's not a credible match because there's nobody really out there really banging down doors out there. But yeah, no, I'm not looking forward to it. I'd watch it if it happened, but I won't put his name forward. No, I won't put anybody's name forward right now.
Yeah, exactly. This is going to beat him anyway. He's not going to beat him. I don't think he's going to beat Vitali. He's the tougher one of the two. He's never been stopped that one. He has got stopped by Chris Bird. Chris Bird bashed him up, yeah. But what I'm saying to you is that I don't like the idea. He's going to win the belt, right? And he's going to retire. What the fuck is that?
But that's up to him. Like, if he wants,
I don't care, but I don't like that, bruv. I don't like someone winning the belt and then saying I'm retired and just leaving us doomed up. You want to see more? Win the belt and go in there and bloody knock out a couple of people and beat and solidify your legacy. You won the belt. You got the hard work of getting the belt. You've got the belt. Now defend it. Defend it against challengers. You say about the Klitschko's and this and that, but they're up there, boring as they are. But they've been, because you know when they're gone, maybe people are gonna recognize them as well. At least they were there doing it. But wait, right now people can't wait to see some of the back of them.
But going to the original point. First of all, listen, I've got nothing against the Klitschko's. Them, they've cleaned out the division. I respect them for that. So it's not that I'm challenging them on. But going back to the question, what I was on about, I'm just talking about the fight. Now, I'd love to see Haye and Vitali, basically. And yeah, I believe Haye can beat him because, now listen, let me just say blatantly, I can't see Haye beating Vladimir. Based on what I saw, I can't say Vladimir because Vladimir's he's still got it. But Vitali, to me, Vitali's on the decline. He's losing that snap. He's lost that snap. And when you got someone like David Haye with those legs and his hand speed, I think Haye's just going to be too sharp for him. I think Haye can beat him, you know.
I'm not sold. It's not exciting me. I'm not looking forward to it. Simple as that.
It's not exciting you.
It's not exciting. It's not.
Okay. Well, so let me ask you man a question. So, if Vitali fights again, so who's the most deserving man to fight Vitali next?
I told you, nobody.
Oh no! Come on, but you got to give me an answer then. Who's more deserving than Haye right now?
I'm not saying it's not a credible fight. You know, I'm not looking forward to it. It's just not exciting me. That's all. I can't say anybody is. I don't think no one's setting the division alight. That's my feelings.
So therefore, Haye is technically the most deserving contender to fight Vitali. Unless you can name somebody else, and I'll wait. Take your time. I don't mind waiting.
Yeah, by default, not by merit. Yeah, by default, basically.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Oh yeah, true. But listen, aren't you guys being unfair about the toe incident? What I've got to say,
Are you going to defend the toe incident?
No, hear me out, man. Yeah, I'm just bringing up the other side of the argument. But listen, we know. Look, whenever a fighter loses, pretty much every single fight in history, they always say something. Now, what I'm trying to say, and I want to hear your response, the thing what he said about the toe, that was one of those things, it could have just gone down as an ignored thing, but on this occasion, it did not go down. For some reason, everyone just jumped on it. So, to me, do you get what I'm getting at?
No, I don't understand what you're getting at. Please elaborate. Please elaborate for us.
You wish me to elaborate?
Please.
Okay, so look. To me, the guy lost it. So he knows he's lost. After all the stuff that he said and done, I mean, it's obviously a very embarrassing loss. Like mentally, he didn't look like it, but you're probably in the back of your mind, you're probably going to cry yourself to sleep that night. So he just said whatever comes to mind. If you look at all the way,
you're defending him, innit?
I'm just bringing up points. Don't think he's.
You're displaying total bias here. There can be no two ways about it. Pure bias.
You're defending him.
I'll say I'm making a neutral, unbiased event of the opinion of the events. I'm just asking, what's so bad about saying it? I don't know. What's with the? I just think there's too much excessive censorship. If he wants to say it, that's up to him. look, but the boxer, like any boxer that wants to say something, you know what? It's up to them if they want to say, oh, I only had a 3-week training camp. Yeah, me. I don't think it was that bad for him to say it.
He should have just said the better man won and kept it moving. Simple.
Yes, he should have. He should have gave the guy respect to come out there. You try to kill man's light, and on top of that, you bring your toe out. And then you got to understand this is boxing. It's a man's sport. Man don't want to see man's toe. It's very girlish, bro. It's very girlish.
Okay.
And I'm saying it's indefensible, right? You do something like that. It's like, boy, you can't you people like Victor Ortiz when he quits in the ring, when he quit against Madonna. He got no respect, and he got respect when he got Roberto. And then he lost it against José Lopez. You know, and boxers, it's a sport of men. You'd rather like to go on your back, yeah, than to be stopped, like thing. And then when you lose, yeah, you just give your man props. If you got niggles, you do it behind closed doors, or even how many years later. But not on the heat. You come up on the thing, you put your big toe out there. Look at it. To me, his toe looked the same to me. It looked like it was broken. You know what I mean? It didn't look swollen to me. It didn't look swollen to me. I looked. I didn't see anything.
He almost shut him out. It was one of the most one-sided points victories in the heavyweight division in recent times.
He didn't win anything on 2 rounds.
It was pretty much a shutout. No, yeah, it was pretty much a shutout. But
yeah, exactly. Because that's what's going to happen with his brother as well.
But I know that's a different fight. I'm saying openly, I don't see him beating Vladimir. I need evidence. I don't see him beating Vladimir. Because Vladimir is still athletic, but you can't. To me, listen. Let me ask you a question: is Vitaly declining?
Everyone's declining. He's got grey hair. Of course, he's declining, but he's still good enough. He's still good. He's still good enough to beat. He's still good enough, in my opinion. If he goes against I think he's good enough to beat him still. Because in my opinion, yeah, he's like Chisora in a way. He's a bit of a bully, like he thinks he's there talking. He made himself believe it, and then he come out an excuse. I mean, look, he ran the whole fight, stood there. If he see how he fought Chisora, right? If he done that kind of fight against the thing, it would have been a better fight. But he was intimidated by the big punches of the big man, and it's a heavyweight division. Yeah, exactly. It was intimidated, and the thing now you're trying to build yourself up for the other brother, and then on top of that, you got to deal with the abuse and the unprofessionalism. The Klitschko's ain't got time for. They, you know what I mean, they conduct themselves with unprofessional. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
the
thing is, if he had fought any harder and tried to win against Vladimir, he would have got knocked the fuck out. I'm a Hay fan. I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm a Hay fan. That's the truth.
No, but at least that would have been alright. It would have been alright. So what if he got knocked out against the Klitschko's? Everyone else has. But what I'm saying to you, at least he would have been in there, gave it a good go. He would have been in it to get hit, and they would have been hit as well. But anyone who's not like the Klitschko, they let them get hit, and they get hit themselves.
David fought like he was in fear of his health. You know what I mean? Didn't want to get his grill fucked up. You know what I mean? I don't blame him for that. You know what I mean? But the truth is, I think he went in there and he didn't realize the gigantic task that it was. I don't think he realized how big Vladimir was to go with the athletic ability, and he choked up.
Come on, man! You can't be.
They're bigger men. And they're not as clumsy, you know. There's something I say to you. They're not those donuts. They're
I never said. But listen. You said. Listen. You said what you said about him running against Vladimir. So listen, based on that, you have to say it's highly. Is it alright to say it's highly unlikely Vitaly can knock him out? Is it fair to say that?
No, I can knock him out.
No, if he can't if he can't knock out Chisora, how's his legs gonna catch Hayes?
2 different fights. Chisora traded on his durability, and he had a good cardio. David Hayes' cardio is not that great, and he was basically just staying out of range. That's all he did. So Vlad just put the jab at him and threw some rights at him, and won easily. Vitaly's actually gonna go after Hay and try and fuck him up. You know what I mean? Big difference.
Yeah, but to me, Chisora, obviously he fought in a different way. But what I meant was Vitaly didn't know how to cope with him coming in. You guys are just playing his downfall. I will see.
Yeah, you was playing thingy's downfall. Johnson's downfall when he was fighting Fury, and so what? What you two?
I was-
Everyone's got their favourites.
I was just stating the facts.
Yeah,
I
what do you
knew.
think we're stating? What do you think we're stating?
No,
We're stating the facts as well.
No,
What do you think we're stating right now?
see, you're upset that he wants to retire, so that's you want him to.
Go on.
Well, okay, listen. As I said, listen. The word is like, listen. Do you guys eat cereal? Have you ever eaten cereal in the morning? I'm asking you. Listen. If you've ever like Rice Krispies, you know how they got Snap, Crackle, and Pop. Vitali has lost that. Yeah, listen. I remember. Yeah, what is it now? I remember when I met Vitali back in. What was it? June. I met Vitali back in July 2010. Now back then, okay, he was the man. Now if we're talking about the Vitali that fought Lennox, I have to say, boy, that Vitali will knock. Yeah, he's too big. Yeah, that Vitali is too much. But the Vitali that we're looking at now, this man's become. Why is he trying to go for this election stuff? Because he knows. I mean, it's nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, he's had a great legacy, but he knows that it's gone now. Like he knows that it's going. So his thing is to get out of the sport, and he wants to become like a politician or some other stuff. Hey, it's still like a young, violent, dangerous person. You saw what he did to. You get me? You saw what he did to Jarrett at the ball. Beat him in the fight. He's just gonna come up with some bang. Where is he from? Jamaica. He's just gonna come up with some Jamaican hook or something that's gonna be too fast. I'm not saying that he's strong where he can go toe to toe with Vitali, but he's just gonna come out with a shot that's just gonna be too fast. Vitali's not gonna have time to react. Gonna get caught square, and that's that. That's
what evidence do you have that Vitali's gonna get knocked out by a shot?
Let me ask you a question. I'm gonna ask you a question. Who hits harder, Lennox Lewis or David Hay?
Now, I'm glad you asked me that. And the obvious answer is clearly, prime for prime, clearly Lennox Lewis, without a doubt.
And who took punches? Klitschko took uppercuts, and how many shots from Lennox Lewis?
I'm glad you're asking me this. This goes back to what I was just saying. If this was the prime Vitali, if this was the man that fought Lennox, no, I have to say no. That Vitali will beat him. But we're not talking about that Vitali. What year was that fight? That was back in the day. That was just what I was doing.
So what you're saying, Vitali, who's never wilted when anyone punching him in the head. You're trying to say all of a sudden you're trying to say his chin and everything's weak now. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah, exactly. It makes no sense.
Are you crazy? Like,
that is the most biased analysis.
He's never even shown that he's been hurt. So now all of a sudden, you're out of your mind. You're trying to you're trying to throw things at the air that all of a sudden you think because he's older that he's ready to get took.
Yeah.
And he hasn't even shown in any of these fights that he's even wilted.
Even if he is declining, he hasn't shown a weak chin.
Never shown a weak chin. Never even shown that he's hurt.
He hasn't been hurt.
He's the Doctor. Is he Doctor Steelfist?
Yeah.
Or Doctor Ironhand? Hammer.
Steelfist.
Dr. Iron Fist.
Yeah,
Iron
and you're
Fist.
showing, and also
Iron
you're making
Steel
up stuff,
Fist.
yeah. To show that he's never. What are you talking about?
Come
man?
on, Apollo, man. That's not
Apollo,
a scientific breakdown. Because in all the time that Vitali's been fighting, he's never shown a weak chin, and now you're analysing that Hayes gonna land a square shot and knock him out.
Don't put words into my mouth. I never said a weak chin.
So how's he gonna deck? So how's Hay gonna deck him then? He couldn't deck what's his name, Valuev.
Yeah, how's he gonna deck him then if you're trying to say he's ready to be took?
That's because he never hit Valuev. He only hit Valuev with one punch. The minute he threw a real punch, Valuev was doing some.
Yeah, he staggered him temporarily. Yeah, Vladimir's got a weaker chin than Vitali, and Hay couldn't do nothing to his chin. So what's the argument on that? Tollgate, the toe in it.
This is my response.
Yes.
Keep coming up with your questions. This is what I gotta say. To me, the thing with Vladimir is younger, isn't he? Regardless of age, physically, to me, Vladimir is the younger brother, where physically he's still closer to his prime. So his reflexes were there. He was reacting to the shots. Whenever Hay tried to come at him, he saw that and he shut it down. He either moved back or he blocked the punch. So to me, Hay never got him. Hay never got him with like his best punch, as far as I'm concerned. But based on Vitali's age and his obvious physical decline, I'm saying Hay can hit him with a bang, his death punch. You get me? But I'm not. Like I said, I'm not talking. We're not talking about no. Like I said, I'm not talking about no Lennox Lewis Vitali. That was back in the day. That was back in the 2001.
We're not talking. We're not talking. We're talking about the Vitali right now.
The Vitali right now. This man. Listen. This man. Why is he? Listen. Why would you even be? Why is he even doing all this political stuff? Because you know he wants out of the game. You know that he's looked at himself in the gym. He's been doing the same. He's been doing speedball or whatever. And he's like, raw. I'm not doing it as fast as I used to do. He's been running around the mountain or whatever. He's like, you know what? Yeah. My times. God, like, listen. Let's be real. Russia. I've seen the film. Russia, like they run in the snow and the ice. Like, he used to be able to run far for long, and now his times are cutting down. So he knows one of these young lions, one of these young ones, is gonna jump on him. Yeah, like with me, like sooner or later, like everybody gets taken. This is Tommy Gunn and Rocket, and he knows it. Ask him. And you get me? He's not gonna say it. You have to look at a man's eyes. Listen, man.
Let me tell you about Apollo. Hey, Apollo. Apollo.
Let him finish his point and come in there, yeah?
Yeah, go on, please, go on. Let him... Go on, Apollo, go on, finish it.
Man, I've met both brothers. Now, if you look at when I interviewed Vladimir, listen, when I mentioned, like, there's a big crowd of people, right? It wasn't one-on-one. But when I mentioned that Hayes met him, he won't even look at me. He looked away. He gave me some vague answer. This man, if he's not looking me in the eye, that's how you know. Yeah, that's how you know. I'm done. Please ask any questions.
Which Klitschko was that?
I've met them both.
Which Klitschko looked away? Which Klitschko?
Vladimir.
All right, is that the one who beat Hay? Is that the one who beat Hay?
Let me get the video then.
No, listen. Is that the one who beat Hay?
Of course, yes.
All right, listen to this. You know why he looked away? Because he's disgusted with David Hay in the way he conducted himself, and he had the pictures of his head, the two heads on his T-shirt. He's disgusted with the way David Hay conducted himself. When you mention his name, let me talk, man. You've talked. When you mention his name, he don't want to talk about him. He did the way David Hay dissed him in front of Max Kellogg in HBO Face Off. He don't like him, disgusted with him. And then when you mention him, he didn't want to talk about it. When you mention something, kind of guy don't talk about it, that's what you do. You turn away. So when he turned away from you, you're taking that as weakness. Oh, really? And anyway, you're not talking about him. We're talking about Vitali right now, right? So your argument is flawed. That's what I gotta say.
Okay. No, that's not fair. I want you. Is there anything else you wish to add, Mr. Jarrett?
That's what I gotta say.
No, please. Okay, cool. I'll come back to you. How about you, Mr. Beats?
As I said before, I'm not really looking forward to that fight. I don't think David Hay really has a legitimate case to even to say he can beat Vitali. I don't think. The only people who can make a case for him to beat him, and I'm not saying you're a fanboy, is either his family or a fanboy. You know, I mean, there's no case. And the suggestion that Hay is going to land a square punch and do whatever, I don't see what it's based on. You can't base it on Vitali's track history, even his recent track history and his decline. You can't base it on that. He's got a better chin than David Hay, right?
Of course,
he's a lot stronger than him.
You can say that.
He is. And Chris Bird even said Vitali is a smart fighter because Chris Bird is. Chris Bird is more trickier than that. He can't punch as hard as David Hay, but he's a much more trickier fighter.
Yeah, right? He would. Yes, he is. And no one wants to fight. No one wants to fight him.
Yes, he is. Okay, right? And let me finish my point. Chris Bird said when he was sparring with Vitali that most people that he spars are not able to fathom him out or adjust to him. But he said Vitali was one of the few, if any, the only person who was able to adjust him. And Chris Bird he said, yo, you're not just a big guy. You're very smart in there.
Yes.
So don't, you know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, that's not a good fight for David Hay. It's not a good fight.
Can I say something? Yeah, Paulo, That video you sent, he wasn't looking at you the whole time when you was interviewing him. He's looking at someone else and he was signing autographs. When you asked him the question, he thought about it and looked away. But in the whole interview you just posted right there, he wasn't looking at you anyway. So that's, I don't know, that point is flawed as well.
Now going back to what boxing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, change the subject. Go on.
Now, listen.
Because you know I'm telling the truth as well. It's there. Beats, you want to check it as well. You feel I'm lying. He wasn't looking at you the whole time. No, he didn't pay no eye contact with you the whole time.
It won't change my opinion of
how can you make eye contact? Like he was signing autographs.
Exactly. So why are you going to take weaknesses when you ask the question?
Listen. Go to. Do you look? Can you see how many people stood there? Skip to 3/4, and then I'll turn the camera around and see how many people there are.
I've seen it already, bro. I've seen that interview already. I've seen the whole thing already. I'm telling you, bro. Your point's flawed, right?
Listen, it's not. It's got nothing to do with the clinch. Like, it was a great pleasure meeting them. I like them. I like them guys. You know, the guy looks slick. Like, I like his suit. You know, I don't like. He's not really my type of hair because I like afro. You know, but
what? He's not. What are you talking about?
I said I like Vladimir's suit. He looked very slick.
Yeah.
It's not really my type of hairstyle. I like.
What are you talking about now? You talking about the man's hair?
Yeah, like for me, I just don't.
What do you mean, like what kind of hair? Hey, you know what? Yeah, this.
I just don't.
Beats, change the subject quickly.
I'm just saying, I don't like getting my hair cut. I just let my hair grow. You know.
Hey, listen, hey, what else is there to talk about? This is done, bro.
Yeah, I think you've nearly exhausted that one. I mean, if you can tell, I'll tell you what.
Oh my God!
I'll let this. If you can tell me that the whole of your analysis on that fight is based on what's transpired in their ring careers, as opposed to who you are favoring because of you just like them better. If you can tell me that all what you said was based on what's happened in their ring careers, I'll continue the discussion.
I don't know what you're looking for me to say. Yeah, I've answered all your questions.
No, you didn't answer that one there. So,
ask me a question.
Is everything you're saying based on what they have done in the ring, or is it because you're favoriting one because you get on well with them, or whatever?
It depends how you're looking on it. You get me?
Well, you answered that in yourself. You know, that's a yes or no question, isn't it?
I don't know. You tell me.
Hey, listen. You know what? When men ask questions, yeah, they expect a straight answer.
Yeah.
They don't know clowning around stuff, yeah, right? You know you've been defeated in your answer, and you just don't want to concede, right? It's obvious, yeah, that we've got you against the wall, and now you're trying to scratch back. Just give in, right, and accept it, yeah. Your boy's gonna get flattened, right, and that's just pure and simple as that. And no one wants to see that fight. Now let's get the Price and the Tyson Furies up, new young blood up in the division, and let's see, give them a shot. Now Tyson, like I said to you, I don't like the way he conducted himself in terms of winning the title. If he wins the title, he's gonna retire. You might as well just leave the glitches where they are. Know what I mean? The amount of disrespect David Hayes showed them Klitschko is out of order, right? And then he's got a right not to look you in the eye when you mention his name. He's disgusted. The man mentioned his family members and everything, and that's his brother, regardless of whatever you think. Man talk about my brother. I'll be on it as well.
Well, I cannot disagree with what you just said.
Thank you. But that's what it's done. It was done in this. You can't disagree. Then there's no point us even continuing.
But I must contest the point though. You guys mentioned Price and Fury. You think they
new young blood?
Yeah, you think they're more deserving to fight Vitali than Hayes?
No, they're not.
No,
they're not, man. They're not, man.
See.
They're still works in progress, but they're working up towards it.
But they're active.
They're young blood coming through. People want to see what's going on.
Hayes had his shot. He blew it. He didn't. I'm not saying he can't come, but he has to reestablish, his position.
But by doing what? Well, what does he have to do in your opinion? If you don't mind me asking.
He has to knock out Vitali. Look, like I said before, I would like to see him probably fight somebody with a winning record, but that's not necessary because, like you said before, the heavyweight competition is thin on the ground. A lot of them are not turning over mountains either. So yeah, he could go straight. I'm just saying it's a legitimate fight between him and Vitali. I'm just not excited by it at all.
I wasn't excited by the other one. Though. Was you?
Fight.
When that fight coming in, was you? And I wasn't excited by the other one though. Against
Which fight?
Against the Vladimir fight. I wasn't excited by that.
I was excited by that one.
I was not. I'll be honest with you. I thought bloody. Yeah, I don't want to. I thought it was. You know what I mean? The way. Listen, mate. You know me. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm fans of fighters and this and that. But the way he started talking about Vitaly, way he talked about him was horrible, man. Horrible.
That doesn't bother me, man.
No,
I'm just talking about the ring action.
Again, and it's just me. I'm talking about me, not no one else, right? But when he got in the ring and how what he said and what he did, right? And I was impressed by he's on sort when he got the. I was impressed when he got the belt, the WBA belt, and he was defending it, right? That's when I was impressed by right? But when he got the unification belt against the Klitschko, what he really wanted, he didn't show up. Right, he didn't show up, and then he had a built-in excuse. And from then on, this is why all the criticisms were coming and landing on him. And from then on, okay, he's beat Derek Chisora, and now he's just gone back in. What's he doing now? But he said he wanted to but he said he wanted to retire anyway. So he's more or less doing what he said he was going to do. He was going to win the belt and retire. So this is what he's doing. He's not active. He ain't fought no one, and all he wants to do is get in the Klitschko, and he's just gonna, you know what I mean? He's just gonna bomb again. Why are you gonna go in there and lose again? He probably don't want to fight again. He don't want to fight again.
How can he win?
He's not gonna win again. He's done.
No, that's what I was going to say. No, how can he win Errol Jarrett's respect? Like, what do you think he?
Me.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Me. Listen, bro. Just listen. David Hayes is beat Chisora and knocked him out. No one else knocked him out. As far as I'm concerned, that's as good enough. That's all he needs to do. He can just leave that. He's won the cruiserweight division, cleaned out that division. He won a heavyweight belt. Right? He's knocked out someone who's never been knocked out before, and you can just leave that alone. Don't go in the Klitschko. You're just gonna upset yourself. Leave it alone, innit? And let someone else go in there.
Okay, I understand.
Because he was upset by that whole thing, even though he gone about the toe. He was very upset about the whole thing. And
listen, of course, man.
He had to live with it, and that's why he was making up such a noise. He was trying to fight again, the other Klitschko, right? But the thing is, he bring it on himself because he opens his mouth and put them expectations down on himself as well. He more or less destroyed Audley Harrison, someone he used to look up to. You know what I mean? Destroyed him with his mouth. It made Audley look like the fraudly.
Audley brought up on himself.
No, but Audley, the thing is Audley. Nah, not really. It's just that with Audley, like, even though he's gonna fight him, but David Hayes started this mouth thing. He started this mouth thing. He started off his assault with his mouth on Audley. Then he continued thinking he could do it to the Klitschko. And then, be honest with you, the media doesn't help because the media shows disrespect towards the Klitschkos as well. Now,
what did Hayes do to Audley?
He should have respect. What I'm saying to you, he should have respected the Klitschko a bit.
Oh yeah, of course.
If you respected him more, then his strategy would have dictated that. But what he was planning to do is upset them and have them charging like a madman so he could not.
Yeah.
And it didn't work. You know what I mean? So you should have another game plan rather than that. You know what I mean? If that's what you're trying to do with Vitaly, you're gonna get scarred. The thing about Vitaly, he will be coming at you. He will be coming at you. You actually get what you want, and I'll tell you what, mate. You don't want to be fighting with that guy. That guy's a bully. He's a bully, mate. He's worse than his brother, man. I'm telling you. To me, he's the most legit heavyweight champion because he's the last guy to fight Lennox Lewis and give him a hard fight. He's legit, brother. He's legit. He's not no fucking been knocked out and come back again. That guy is not joking around.
Legit, yeah.
He's legit, bro.
Yeah, he is.
Definitely.
Don't messing around with him. That one, yeah. That's if you ask me which one I like that one. I like that one because he come in and if he didn't mess up his knee, he'd have been dominating. Look, the man would have been dominating how many defenses, and he's knocking. I don't understand why people dislike him so much. Yeah, he knocks out everyone in front of him usually.
He's a good fighter.
Yeah,
very good. Great champion. He's a great champion.
He's been credible. He's exciting. He knocks you out. It's what heavyweights do. You know what I mean? He represents his people. He does what he's supposed to do, and that's that. You know what I mean? Lennox Lewis, yeah, what I'm saying, he made Lennox Lewis. He put the breast out of Lennox Lewis, even though Leslie didn't. It made Lennox Lewis's career look even better. That the idea that he beat that one.
Yeah, exactly. That was a great win for Lennox.
You know what I mean? People got even more props to Lennox Lewis for what he did against him. And you have a direct line of Vitaly, Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson, and a Holyfield, a direct descent. That's where it came from.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, David Hay can't even talk to Vitaly about heavyweight championship box. He's just not on his level. He's just not on his level. Cruiserweight, yeah.
I agree.
And when you talk about the lineage of the heavyweight belt, I know the other brother's got the more props and the more accolade, but for me, it's the other brother. The only thing is the older brother. He's like, I'll let my younger brother have all that. I'll let him. But for me, it's the other brother. It's the other brother. And you know, that's why I was so happy to talk to Chris Bird. Because Chris Bird, they put him on his stool and stopped him. Even though Chris Bird didn't make a big thing about it, I was thinking later, he went to Germany and bloody made the way quit. Oh, sure, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And have you seen that fight, bruv?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
He took it to him. And then on top of that, Chris Bird took it to David Tua as well. And then Lennox Lewis ducked him. And you heard from his own mouth, he didn't want to fight me. Hey, Chris Bird is a man. Oi, listen, bro. Let me tell you something. There's more to meet the eye with the heavyweight division. David, even Ray Jones didn't want to fight him.
Yeah,
we need to. I've watched the interview, but I need to hear what Lennox has to say.
No, I don't need to hear what Lennox has to say because I know what Lennox has to say.
Come on, man, it's saying that Lennox ducked him.
You know what Lennox was saying? I'm not playing no Bird. I'm not fighting no Chris Bird. He just gave up the belt. That's all you need to know. And he gave it, and the Riddick Bill gave it the belt. You heard what Chris Bird had to say. What my point is, yeah, end of the day, right? David Haye, right? He's the way he conducts himself. He doesn't rub people up the right way. He's gonna win the belt, knock him out, and then retire. And I don't like that shit.
I don't mind if he does that. I just don't think he can win the fight.
Nah, no, but not even doing that. Even if he won the belt, he's gonna give. What the fuck are you doing trying to win the belt just so I can get it, so I can dash it in the bin? What the fuck is that? You know,
he just wants bragging rights and the money.
No, that's some bullshit right there. And I don't respect people like that, man. I don't respect.
I mean, why should he pay them guys sanctioning fees? He can just get his money and move on. So I've got no problem with that.
I have a problem with that because when he won the WBA belt from that big giant, whatever, he defended the belt, right? And that's what the champions are supposed to do, right? He cried for that big fight and against Vladimir, whatever, and then he came a cropper, right? And now he come a cropper, he's begging for the other brother, right? He believes he can take the other brother. I'm more respect to him, but if you want the fight, why aren't you wanting the fight for the right reason? Not to win it to say I'm gonna quit. You know what I mean? You know, if the Tyson Fury and them mans get the belt, they ain't letting go of that bloody belt.
We'll see when they get it.
They're gonna get. Of course they are. They're gonna go up there. Of course they're gonna. Even if they lose, they're still gonna be round there.
Well, one of them's gonna win it.
One of them gonna get one of the belts. There's belts to get.
Yeah.
Both the brothers vacate. But if them brothers, it'd be great. You know, you see both the British fighters against both the brothers in a World Series knockout. Woo, be great, bruv. Be great. And then you know David Haye want to fight one of them after that. You know David Haye want to fight Tyson Fury. He don't rate Tyson Fury, and he'd want to fight thing. It'd be a great time for the heavyweight division, right? But it's just taking its while. Next year is gonna be a big year for the two of them to see where they are. But right now, Fury's Fury's gonna fight Vitali. You see, he's not even going for the weaker opposition. He's going for Vitali, bro. Vitali's still around. Vitali's gonna fight the winner, right? And he's in line to fight Vitali, bro. That's Zura. Tyson Fury. That's gonna be a good fight.
See, David Haye is very inactive right now. Anyway, and he's pushing on to 32, 33. He's not a youngster. David Haye hasn't got the it factor right now. I mean, like, yeah, he beat Chisora. I mean, that's yeah. If the fight happens, cool. If it happens, but you know what I mean. Like, he's not inactive. Same with Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, you want pound for pound best, but you're inactive right now. You don't fight regularly. You know what I mean? Like, if Floyd really wants that pound for, he hasn't said it himself, but if the ring really want to give Floyd the pound for pound status, he has to knock off a Trout to me. Yeah, he has to knock one of them guys up, and then he can say that.
Of course, I agree. But you know, okay, yeah, I can't really. But I think with Haye, all I can say really, for whatever reason, he just doesn't care about legacy. That stuff means nothing to him.
So I don't know.
And let me just clarify before everyone carries on. I'm not putting Haye on nowhere near the same pedestal as Floyd Mayweather.
Oh yeah, but with Mayweather's completely different because obviously with him, like I said, with Haye, I'm not agreeing, but I think to a certain degree, at least he tells you he wants to retire. At least he doesn't go on about I'm the pound for pound number one.
But he isn't. That's why he can't, because he isn't. He isn't. Floyd was.
So no. But at least Haye doesn't say it. At least he's not.
Yeah, but Floyd was. He can say it because he was. David Haye knows he isn't, so he can't say it. It's two different arguments. Well, two different arguments.
Okay. At the end of the day, obviously, I want to see fighters fight. You know, so I don't know why, man. Obviously, you think it'd be great if Mayweather and Hay, you know, if they go on like some sort of rampage and go after everybody, it'd be nice. But hey,
Mayweather doesn't even to fight no more because he retired. I think Mayweather should retire, in my opinion. If he Pacquiao and retire and don't need to fight ever again. But you know how it is. People be calling his name like Guerrero. Guerrero can call his name all he wants. I wouldn't. If I was Mayweather, I wouldn't fight him. What am I fighting him for? Guerrero, let Guerrero fight them other bears. He's gonna lose eventually to someone with that bullshit he's doing. Maybe that's what Mayweather does. I ain't got nothing to fight you. You wanna fight you for? You ain't even bringing no. I need to fight you, man. Like, look, fight Pacquiao. If Mayweather's come back, he'll fight Pacquiao, and that's it. And that's it. He'll fight that fight. That's the last fight he'll do, and he needs to retire, and that's it. He's happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, just leave the sport. He don't need to, but he might come back. I don't know, but right now, that's the only fight that he needs to fight, and that's the only thing people are bugging him if he'll do it. And that'll be the end of that.
All right, then, guys. We're going to wrap this one up.
So, all right, man. Peace, yeah?
Peace. No problem.
Peace.
Cool.
Peace.